Hello students. So today we are going to talk about two-port networks. So basically we should first know the meaning of port. A pair of terminals on any circuit acts as a single port. This will be one port. So if any circuit is having two pair of terminals, one for the input and one for the output, then such type of terminal will be called as two-port network. So today we are going to discuss about the various parameters that are used to define the two-port networks. So in these parameters, we are firstly going to define the Z parameters. So as you all know that when we define the impedance, because this is also called the impedance parameter. So I am also going to write the name here as impedance parameter. So you all know the Ohm's law. Ohm's law is defined as V is equals to IR. So if I am going to replace my R with a Z, so I am going to get a Z over here, right? So now the parameters that we write in Z form, Z parameter form, are defined as V upon I form, and the units will be ohms of all of these parameters. So let's start with the governing equations for such type of network. So when we talk about your Z parameters, the input and output port voltage are the dependent variables. So that means the voltage here, that is V1, and the voltage here, that is V2, are dependent on the currents I1 and I2. So that means I have to write the equation in this form, and you all are familiar with how we denote the matrices form of numbers. So the same way we are going to define here. So this is the first row and first column. This is the first row and second column. This is the second row and first column. And this is the second row, second column. So this is how we define the equations of the Z parameters. So let's define one by one the Z parameters. So from here, only see this equation. Let's make your this term equal to 0. How we are going to equate it to 0? If our current I2 becomes equals to 0. So we will be defining our Z11 for this condition. So Z11 from only this pair will give me the value V1 upon I1 for I2 equals to 0. Similarly, let's define our Z21. So Z21 will again be equal to V2 upon I1 again for I2 equals to 0. Now just see here that our this I2 will be equal to 0, your this current will be equal to 0 only when your this terminal pair will be open. So the next pair will be defined as such, but with this side as open. So Z12 will be equal to, just take care of now V1 and this term, and now let's make this term equal to 0. How you are going to make that equal to 0? By equating I1 equal to 0. So V1 upon I2 for I1 equals to 0, and similarly your Z22 will be equal to V2 upon I2 again for I1 equals to 0. And if you want to remember it, just remember it with the subscript. Just check here. This is 1, 1. That indicates 1 and 1 over here. This is Z21. 2 stands for the numerator and 1 stands for the denominator subscript. Similarly, Z12 here, 1 for the numerator and this for the denominator. Obviously, the formula will remain same in this, V upon I. So whatever term we are going to indicate, if it is V1 upon I1, then it will be Z11. If it is V1 upon I2, Z12. If it is V2 upon I2, Z22. And if it is V2 upon I1, it will be Z21. So this is how you have to learn that. So now we come on to the equivalent model of the Z parameters, because this is very beneficial in further when we go for your hybrid parameters and we will be drawing the transistor model. So just learn that how you have to draw it. You all know that the voltage, it always divides in series. You all know this, that if I have applied a voltage over here and there are two resistances, then my this total voltage will divide between these two. So similarly, if we have got V1 at the LHS side that is dependent on these two terms, so that means it is a series circuit. So when you have to define a series circuit, you will be defining it in series connection. This V1 will be divided into two parts. Now what about your this V1 is dependent upon the current of the output port. So this will act as a dependent voltage source that is dependent on the value of the current. So such dependent sources, voltage sources, are defined by the diamond shaped like this. So here you go with your input port, that is V1. This is I1, and just see here, this value is Z11 and this value is Z12 I2. And what about the sign? Just see here, when the current enters at this side, this is positive, negative, then again positive, negative will make it to be this plus sign. So you have to give the positive and negative direction as this. So now we come on to the output port. Similarly, here you will be writing your Z22. Here the current I2 of the output port. This is your V2. And now again your this diamond shaped. So now the current is entering here positive, negative. So again it will be positive, negative here. So let's give the value here, because now your output voltage is dependent on the input port current. So this is Z21 I1 and this is your current dependent voltage source. So this is your equivalent model of the Z parameters. Now we are going to start with the numerical of your Z parameters. So here we have to find the Z parameters of this circuit. So the very first thing you need to do is write down the parameter definition, that is Z11 will be equal to V1 upon I1 for I2 equals to 0. And similarly Z21. These two pairs should be always calculated together, because the circuit of these both are same, because that makes the output side to be open. So I'm going to define them and I'm going to find them together. I2 equals to 0. So if my this side is open, mind it, if this side is open, we need to draw the circuit again. Why? Because if I'm giving the voltage here, like if I'm giving the voltage here and this is my some circuit and my this side is open, will any current from my this voltage source will go towards this side? It will not go towards this resistance. So that means my this ZC will be neglected here. So to draw it again, we will be having only ZA and ZB here. So ZC will be neglected when the output terminals are open. So this is V1 and this is I1. So let's find out the value of V1. So V1 will simply be equal to ZA plus ZB multiplied by I1. So let's put the value over here. Let me rub it here and I will draw it at the other side. Okay. So now this will give me ZA plus ZB multiplied by I1. Mind it, when you calculate your Z parameters, you always write the values in terms of I1 and I2. So I1 and I1 cancels out. You are left with your Z11 as the value ZA plus ZB and the units are ohms. So now you have to find the value of V2. So in the same circuit, just see here, this is your ZA, this is your ZB and your that side is open. So that means nothing is going to come over here. So you all remember how we calculated our Z Thevenin? So if you are not familiar how to calculate ZAB, just check out the lecture on Thevenin's theorem. You will just see that what we did was, you have to go from your this terminal, move your pencil to this, and in between whatever resistances will come, the voltage drop across them will give you the value of your V Thevenin. Sorry, I was talking about V Thevenin, just skip to Z Thevenin. So the same thing we have to do here, because our this resistance is not getting any current here. So we will be neglecting it. So we are left with only our this impedance ZB. So that makes it to be ZB into I1 divided by I1, because now my V2 will only be the voltage drop across this ZB, and the current in this is I1, right? So I1 and I1 cancels out, and I will get my Z21 as ZB. So now the other set of parameters we are going to calculate. So now we have to make our I1 equals to 0. We will do by opening our this set of terminals. So if we are opening the input side of terminal, so that means we have to now neglect our this thing, because if we are applying a voltage source over here, and this is my circuit, then there will be no current from this voltage source that is going to go towards this side. So now you have to neglect your ZA. So I'm drawing the circuit again here. So this will give me the value of ZC, and this will remain as ZB, right? So now I have to calculate my V2. So V2, you all can see here that V2 will simply be ZC plus ZB. So it will be here I have to write ZB plus ZC multiplied by I2 divided by I2 will give me the value ZB plus ZC only of Z22. So now we have to calculate the value of V1. So similarly, as we did in the previous case, your ZB will be equal to, V1 will be equal to the voltage drop across your this ZB, and the current flowing through this is I2 only. So your this will make it to be ZB into I2 divided by I2 will give me the value of ZB. And for a cross check, it is always the case that your Z12 will be equal to Z21. Clear? So whenever your these two values are not coming out to be equal, then either the system is not bilateral system. Otherwise, you need to check your calculations, because it is always a cross check that your Z12 should always come equal to your Z21. So now we come on to the next numerical, where you should be a little bit careful and you should listen to me very carefully. So the very first set of parameters that I'm going to find out are Z11 and Z21. So for that, our I2 is going to be equal to 0. And for that, I'm going to make my these terminals equal to open. So if you just check here, there is no resistance put over here. So that means by opening these terminals, there will be no difference in the circuit here. Still, I'm going to draw it back here. So this makes it to be just like this. So this is my 4, this is 2 ohm and 1 ohm. So now we need to calculate our V1. So V1 we will just calculate as if the voltage source has been put over here, and we need to calculate our V1 now, that how much value we are going to get in terms of current if it is flowing like this. So let's see that these resistance combinations have to be solved first. So you can see here that 4 and 2 both are in series. So 6 in parallel with 2, and then in series with 1, and then if multiplied by I1 will give me the value of V1. So let's solve the value of V1. So after solving this, the total value is coming out to be 5 by 2 into I1 as the value of V1. So I'm going to put over here 5 by 2 I1 divided by I1 will give me the value of 5 by 2. That can also be written in decimal form as 2.5 ohms. So now we have to find the value of Z21, and again you have to check that our output V2 side is open. So if V2 side is open, just extend the terminals like this. Move your pen over here from this 2 dash terminal, from 2 to 2 dash, and you are going to find only 4 ohms is there. So that means V2 will be equal to 4 multiplied by, let's say the current flowing through this 4 ohm resistor is Ix. So we need to calculate it. Now you can see that the current flowing in this circuit is I1 only. So that means after coming here, it is getting divided into two portions. So we need to find out the value of the current in this branch only, right? So let's say the current over here is Ix. So just apply your current division rule. So current division rule will make it to be I1, that is the total current, multiplied by opposite branch resistance, that is 2 ohm, divided by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, divided by 8. So this cancels out and I am left with I1 by 4. So here I am going to apply Ix value as I1 by 4 divided by I1. So this cancels this cancels this, and I am left with 1 ohm as the value of Z21. So now let's find out the other pair of both parameters. So now I have written the next set of parameters, that is Z12 and Z22. And for both of these parameters, you can see that my input side has to be opened. Now just mind here that your this side is to be opened. When this side is to be opened, that means that you have applied the voltage like this. So the circuit will be just like this as I am drawing. And here the terminals are open. So can you think that the current from your this voltage source can go towards this open terminals? No, it will not go. So that means we are going to neglect this and we have to take the values of 2, 2 and 4 over here only. So we are going to skip our 1 ohm resistor because no current will flow from our V2 voltage source towards that side. Right, so now let's find out the value of V2 first. You can see that the current from here is going to get divided into two portions, so that makes it to be this 2 and 2 will be in series, so that makes it to be 4 in parallel with 4. This 4 is the series combination of 2 plus 2. So this makes it to be 2 multiplied by I2 divided by I2. That gives me the value of Z22 as 2 ohms. Now you have to find the value of V1. V1 is to be calculated in the same form as we discussed before. So this is the case now. So this pair of terminal that I have just extended will give me the value of V1, and you have to move your pen like this. So the voltage drop across this 2 will give me the value of V1. So this gives me the value of, so now we have to find the value of this Ix, that is the part of our this I2. So now Ix will come in terms of I2, and then I2 and I2 will get cancelled out. So here just see that this is 4, this is 2 and this is 2. So that means our this I2, so I can draw it just like this. This is the combination of 2 plus 2 here, and this is our 4. So when total I2 is coming and both equal resistances of 4 ohm each are there in parallel, so my this I2 current is going to get divided into half. It will go half in 4 and half in 2 plus 2 combination of 4. So that makes it to be 2 multiplied by I2 by 2 divided by I2. So cancelling I2 with I2 and 2 and 2. So this gives me the value of 1 ohm again. And just check your previous answer. Your Z21 was also 1. And now Z12 is also 1 ohm. So this satisfies that our calculations are correct. Right? So now we are going to go for the next set of parameters, and that are your Y parameters.